One example is going for a walk with a friend who has had a near-death experience, NDE. An NDE is a trip into the unknown. The story of today takes us far beyond the limits of our normal lives and into bright tunnels, where ghosts talk with angels and figure out what their main purpose on Earth is. This person who kindly told me about their amazing experience saw amazing connections between their NDE and others they had read about online. It was like their long search for understanding had finally been answered as they got lost in these stories. They told very few people about their own experience, including the person who told these interesting stories. This event changed our friend's life right after they turned 30, right after their mother died. Because they didn't have close family, they planned her funeral, which was a huge job. They were stressed out by this job and the sadness of losing a parent they loved. They were raised by an independent mother who didn't follow society norms, and they took on her unwavering determination as children. Even though people told her to give them up for adoption, she refused. Instead, she raised them by herself while working full-time as a waitress to pay for their needs. She was 28 years old when she was identified with cancer, and she had already died by the time our main character was 30. Last night, the night before the funeral plans were made, things went badly. A lot of different feelings were going through their minds as they dealt with the loss of a loved one and fears about money. In the comfort of their own bed, and in the embrace of being tired, they fell asleep. They were briefly relieved, but it didn't last long because they suddenly started to feel terrible chest pains that tore through their weak bodies. They were so hurt that they fell to the ground. Their weakness showed even though they were desperately trying to find comfort in medicine. Then a chain of events happened that didn't make sense. After breaking away from their dead ship, they entered a spiritually weightless state. Their dead body lay below them, a stark reminder of how short life is. They were drawn into a celestial doorway by a tempting offer, which led them to a bright light that pulsed with cosmic significance. At that perfect moment, the heavens spread out in front of their eyes, showing the intricate web of life. They were hit with a flood of knowledge from all areas of science, math, and history. The bright light was their true source, a lighthouse of love and respect that wrapped its warm arms around them. The cloud of sadness and negativity lifted as they got closer, leaving behind a strong feeling of community and belonging. Time, the constant force that controls life on Earth, let go of this spirit realm. Linear time's limits disappeared, letting them talk to many other light beings that came together to make a harmonious whole. But just as quickly as they were pulled towards the light, they were pulled into a huge empty space that was white as white. Stressful things like hunger and thirst didn't matter here, in this world that wasn't limited by time and space. Instead, they were lost in the deepest levels of mathematical theory, trying to figure out how the universe works. While they were thinking, a beautiful figure with an air of heavenly grace showed up. With a knowing smile, the angel, who was dressed in bright clothes and a golden belt, asked, "Back again?" This question stuck in their minds. Their choice to leave this etheric world and return to Earth became clear. Before they left, their memories were erased, which was a common practice for ghosts who were about to enter the fire of life. Earth was a place where ghosts could test their memories and decide whether to hold on to them or let them go when they came back. They didn't understand why the angel asked, "Why did I choose to return?" When the angel answered, with a smile that said, "You must have had your reasons," it was clear that they were very wise. The decision had been made, and it would have big effects on their future, whether they did it because of an unfinished mission or the other of loved ones who had been left behind. As the angel spoke, the threads of existence, life, and death were woven together into a meaningful story that helped them see how complicated life really is. Time changed shape in this bright area, making it easier to understand and perceive things in new ways. They knew that their trip, which was made in the furnace of this world, was holy, even though they wanted to return to the light. The angel intoned the holiness of free will with great respect, saying that the choice to come to Earth and its purpose were both his own. No one had to leave the afterlife, but everything about his choice was still kept hidden. Even though the angel was very smart, he couldn't explain why he had decided to cross between worlds so many times before. This knowledge made him very confused, and he talked about how hard it was for him to imagine making decisions without knowing where they came from. The angel replied by giving him a holy promise that was made before he came to earth. Its holy pages held the goals and dreams he had made for himself during his human life. It brought back a lot of memories that helped him understand how he had left the world of spirits and then wished to return. He chose to face life's challenges with memories of his real home because he felt responsible in a way similar to a warrior training for battle. He was moved to go to a place where rumors of his high beginnings kept going strong after he learnt this new information. It felt strange for him to be in his own body when he woke up on the floor. The unbearable chest pains were gone, and he felt a deep sadness that was stronger than his need for his mother to calm him. What his spirit wished for was something beautiful, a ray of light in the darkness of despair. He fell deeply into sadness and had trouble dealing with strange emotions and the things that happened in his daily life that seemed like they were impossible to get past. Eventually, though, the darkness of hopelessness cleared, leaving behind a shadow of doubt. Was he really seeing ghosts, or was it all in his head? He told his friends about his strange trip to try to feel better and see how they would react. People had different reactions. Some thought it was just the mind wandering in a dream, while others thought it was dreams caused by his fall. One of their friends was the only one who said they had a near-death experience, and even that person was skeptical about the idea. But as time went on, he became more and more sure that what he was experiencing was real. It made him feel better to think that his mother had gone to a place so beautiful that he could not even imagine it. He really liked the idea of a deep look back at his life, like his trip to heaven, but he didn't tell anyone about his plans. He knew that memories are limited and that time changes things, but that didn't change his mind about how wonderful his meeting was. He was grateful for the chance to talk about his near-death experience and asked people not to make fun of or insult his story, but to listen to it with kindness and understanding. Each point of view, whether based on doubt or faith, was important in its own right and added to the complexity of being human. He ended by genuinely thanking his audience for their support and understanding. He also asked them to be open-minded and heartfelt as they faced the mysteries of life.